lead is so important. All of you already have shown that AAPIs can be great leaders for all Americans in all states across this country. All of you can be in such critical positions to ensure we can fight for what is right and just. Imagine what it could be with a strong national AAPI lead organization.
Hello, this is Dr. Jeff Kim, and I'm at the John Wayne Airport about to head out to Las Vegas. It's where the AAPI Summit is happening. About 300 elected officials who are Asian American and Asian American leaders will be coming out to gather, and it'll be a real wonderful opportunity for me to see many role models, those who are making a difference in their communities, and to hear their advice and thoughts. Once again, growing up, I never had a teacher that looked like me. But in addition to that, I remember an elected official that looked like me either, growing up in my K-12 education and college and so forth. So here I am in this position, in this role. It's a great, awesome privilege and opportunity, but I have a lot to learn still. So I'm attending this conference. It's going to be a multiple numbers of different kinds of workshops that talk about a variety of issues that pertain to all Americans and also Asian Americans, and a time to build up capacity as well as network with others. So really awesome in the first session already. In fact, at the very beginning, there was this meet and greet. So it's so great to meet some of the corporate sponsors actually, because I had a chance to ask them a little bit about education and ask them, for example, some Amazon executives, like, what is it that you're looking for in future employees, and what should we be providing for our students today? And so they talked about the soft skills, the 5 C's, communication, collaboration, creativity, critical thinking, compassion. Once again, academics are wonderful, but so important to grow those soft skills. And then, of course, the AAPI Summit lead event. And once again, I'm reminded that representation is important, but what's also very important is leadership and leading. So if you think about it, when you think about the 1882 Exclusion Act, when you think about the internment of Japanese Americans, how many representatives were Asian American during the times those decisions were made? Well, I'll tell you, there weren't any. So representation matters, and leadership also matters as well.
Welcome.
I don't think I've been in a space like this where there are so many firsts. Can you raise your hand if you're the first Asian American, Korean American, Japanese American, Hmong American in your various roles, whether it's board, city? Go ahead and give yourselves a hand. This is like something to be so proud of. And I'm glad to have a space like this where we can be proud of one another and proud of ourselves. And this is so much more powerful because it's in the backdrop of maybe some pain as well. And that's what makes a story a greater story of joy. When I say pain, I'm talking about some of the pain in our story, which includes the history of our country, the 1882 Chinese Exclusion Act, the 1907 Gentlemen's Agreement, the 1924 immigration laws, the 1913 alien land laws, all the way up to the incarceration of Japanese Americans, to today, E414, the 2020 increase in surge in anti-Asian racism. But so in the midst of that, so many firsts, and that's what makes your story and our story a great story of hope. We have to know our story, we have to tell our stories, we have to listen to one another's stories with empathy and respect, and most importantly, we must do something good with our stories of resilience. The Asian American story is a great American story for Asian Americans and all Americans.
Thank you. It's been an eye-opening, informative, and an inspirational gathering. We've had representatives here from 26 states and DC, from Hawaii to North Carolina, and including states like Kansas and Tennessee. I am in awe of the stories that you have told over the past 2 days. And what your stories told me is that there's so much power and potential to be gained from all of you in forming the base of AAPI Lead. And we need that power. I want to tell you that last week I met with the Asian American Foundation. They do an annual survey on attitudes of Americans across the nation towards AA and HPIs. They've been doing it since COVID started. And let me share with you 3 of their observations. When Americans were asked to name an event, any event related to Asian Americans, more than half of Americans say nothing comes to mind. And even when prompted about events like the Monterey Park shooting, 43% of Americans say they are not familiar with that. When Americans are asked to name a famous Asian American, more than 50% of all Americans said that they couldn't think of anybody. And of those who could, the most common answer was Jackie Chan, who isn't even Asian American. And if you think these anti-Asian alien land laws don't relate to you, then get this. Nearly 40% of Americans believe that all AAPIs are more loyal to a country in Asia than to America. The most alarming part of this is that it reflects a rapid increase because it was 19% at the start of the pandemic. And that's why AAPI LEAD is so important. All of you already have shown that AA and HPIs can be great leaders for all Americans in all states across this country. All of you can be in such critical positions to ensure we can fight for what is right and just. Imagine what it could be with a strong national AAPI LEAD organization. It is a future where, if all of us come together, we can fight back against and stop the racist anti-Asian alien land laws in every state and in every locality. It is a future where we can push for every community's history and contributions in all curriculums of school districts and higher education institutions across the nation. It is a future where every little AA and HPI boy or girl can look at your faces as leaders in this country and dream of becoming an elected official, a future Supreme Court justice, or even president of this United States. And that is why it is so important that all of you here at this historic moment are founders of this organization that will empower AA and HPIs all across this country. And that is why it gives me such great pleasure to now swear in the AAPI LEAD Board of Directors. And so, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute and uphold the bylaws of AAPI LEAD and will, to the best of my ability, serve as a living example of this organization's mission, vision, and goals. Congratulations! You are now the 2024 AAPI LEAD Board of Directors.